The key to guard retention is to keep your grips on your opponent 4 points of contact. Your grips, meaning your hands and your feet. You also need your frames pointing towards the guard passer, meaning your knees and shin in regards to your legs. What you should focus on the most to retain your guard is to always keep connection with your feet. You'll learn in this video as I transition from guard to guard, it's just to keep connection with my feet. Let's get started by looking at guard retention and transitions in action. We start off grip fighting, and as Jeff reaches to grab my leg to control my foot, I pull it back so that he can't reach it. I can't let him control my foot, as if he does, I won't be able to grip with it. When I find my opportunity, I pull him towards me and bring myself into him to connect my feet onto him. The guard that I entered into is reverse De La Riva. As Jeff starts to control that reverse De La Riva leg, I try to transition to De La Riva, but his grip on my left sleeve prevents me from being able to grab his leg with that arm for a more true De La Riva. I don't have connection with my right foot on Jeff's left leg, as Jeff is controlling it, so I transition back to reverse De La Riva. I start to work in a lasso grip to gain connection there with my foot, but Jeff is doing a great job preventing it, as I cannot pull his sleeve towards me, which would make lassoing easier. In general, Jeff's doing a good job of controlling my hand grips, but at the expense of not controlling my feet grips. As he lets go to start controlling my legs, I finally manage to get both feet on him, and now attack with the balloon sweep. I lift him up on my feet and rotate him vertically by pulling his right hand towards my hips. Now at his back roll to follow him into mount. I have grips with my hands, 2 points of connection. Now I just need connection with my feet, but Jeff tries to step past my guard before I can gain that connection. This is what he was trying to do, a step through pass. To counter, I managed to catch him with my left foot, which disrupts his pass attempt. Now immediately I gain connection with both feet in form of a De La Riva guard, my left instep on Jeff's right leg to hook, and the flat of my right foot on Jeff's left leg to frame. I have really short legs, so it's often hard for me to keep connection with that framing foot in De La Riva, and Jeff is able to take it off him and control it. He forces my legs to the side and tries to point my frames away from him, but I keep my frames facing him and switch back to reverse De La Riva so I can again establish connection with both feet. Jeff goes to peel my grip off, my right hand on his ankle. So I transition back to De La Riva so I can transition my grips rather than lose my grips. Jeff's grip on my lapel is keeping me down, controlling my posture. So watch as he takes it off to transition to controlling my legs. I follow him up to a seated position. He has most of his weight on his right leg, so wrestling him up will be a challenge. Instead, I drop back down, focusing on staying on my side. I bump him with my knee to try and sweep him forward, but Jeff looks to backstep as a counter. To counter his counter, I simply block his leg from stepping back all the way using my leg. As you can see, I often do this counter to the backstep. Now his weight is off of me and mostly on his hands and left leg, resulting in his right leg being light, and I'm able to wrestle him up, taking the single and finishing with the classic running the pipe wrestling technique. As I finish the sweep, I make sure to keep his frames pointing away from me, which puts me in a great passing position. Again, I prioritize connection with my feet, this time landing on his hips. He keeps his butt and his base down to prevent another balloon sweep. With that option gone, I switch to De La Riva, so I can take a better connection with my foot as I'm losing it on the hip. Jeff breaks my grip with a two-handed grip break, and did the technical way of doing it by keeping his butt down. Otherwise, he'd be at a substantial risk committing two hands to my one grip if he did so without a solid base. The issue for him now is that his grip is past my center line, and he's at risk of getting his back taken. I try to do so with a Baron Bolo or Baby Bolo, as that's what's available going this direction in De La Riva. But my short, stubby legs can't quite reach his left leg to hook onto it, and he's able to step back into a more solid passing position. My frames are pointing away as a result of the back take attempt, so priority now is getting my frames back facing him, which I do with the help of a little shrimp. Quickly, I'd just like to introduce you to the sponsor of today's video, Seed. Seed is a company with a mission to establish probiotics as a science and to bring much needed precision, efficacy, and education to the global category of probiotics. In collaboration with leading scientists and research partners from around the world, Seed creates scientifically validated and clinically studied probiotics for adults, children, and adolescents, and honestly, their products are amazing. Because anyone that knows me knows that I'm very particular. I like to know the whys and the hows behind everything, and I want to make sure that something works before I dedicate myself to it. And that's why I started using Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic every morning before breakfast. is formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains for whole body benefits. On top of that, DS-01 is a 2-in-1 product, which means you can take your daily probiotics and patented non-fermented prebiotics at once. I've been taking Seed and I find it so convenient. I don't need to mix anything together. I know exactly how much I'm taking. You know, I have to say I have been feeling really great lately, and my gut health is something that's really important to me. All in all, I just love it. I mean, it's a product rooted in science. I like being able to support my gut, skin, as well as my heart health with science, and with just 2 capsules a day. And I'm sure that you should support your health in the same way too. Click my link below and use my code Jordan to get 15% off your first month's supply of Seeds DS-01 Daily Symbiotic plus free shipping. Again, that's Jordan for 15% off your first month's supply of Seeds DS-01 Daily Symbiotic plus free shipping. Again, I connect my foot with a reverse De La Riva grip. He tries to knee slide, but my reverse De La Riva grip prevents him from being able to drop his hip closer to me for a better knee slide angle. He peels my grip off by straightening his leg, which is a great way to rid yourself of De La Riva grips. Losing that grip, I immediately transitioned into taking connection with both feet on the hips. With his butt too much in the air, that's my cue or trigger for another balloon sweep. I lift him up, but he bases out well, so I push his head down to rotate his body as I do another back roll to mount. Where the head goes, the body must follow. And that's why concepts, or what I call jiu-jitsu theory, are so important, more so than specific techniques, because if you weren't taught this technique in class, you will still know what to do in this situation if you understand jiu-jitsu theory. Which, by the way, my jiu-jitsu theory course will be out in a few weeks. I've been slaving away on it, finishing it up. It'll be in the same format as my YouTube videos and cover everything you need to know about how the body works in relation to another person's body in grappling. Make sure to sign up for my newsletter to stay up to date with its release, as well as to learn free jiu-jitsu theory every week in written form. I try to block his post with my feet and push his upper body back for what's called a dummy sweep, but Jeff bases out. But as he bases out, most of his weight travels to his left leg, and I'm able to wrestle up by grabbing his right leg as a result. Again, finishing by what's called running the pipe. Jeff keeps his butt down after being balloon swept twice, but it can be difficult to transition while keeping it down, especially if your posture is controlled. I take a De La Riva on my weak side. I do not have a great De La Riva on this side at all, so I shrimp out to make space to return to my strong side. But as I do, I lack connection with my feet, and Jeff tries to take advantage of this by trying to quickly jump over my guard, but I disrupt his attempt by keeping my frame in the way, my shin. And now immediately I take connection with my feet. Because I have short legs, I opt more towards hooking with my instep more so than framing with the flat of my foot as much as I can in the guard, as I can't generate as much space with my long frames as those with long legs can. I use the hook to pull Jeff forward and prioritize keeping my short frame, meaning my shin between us, so he can't mount me as it's in the way of my inside position. And remember this jiu-jitsu theory rule, frames beat inside position. To transition to X-guard, I underhook his leg and pull it towards my ear and shoulder, while simultaneously inserting the instep of my left foot for X-guard. To sweep, I simply extend my legs to widen his legs, which give him less space to defend going backwards towards his butt. This is a sweep that I do often, whether it's in gi or no gi, because it doesn't require you to control their grips of their hands, which they could use to post out in other sweeps. You would need control of their sleeve in a sweep like this. You need to sweep and attack based off what you have available, more so than what you want. Alright, thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. If you're still here, please leave a comment or a fist bump, and I'll see you guys next time.